Srikrishna, CEO and Executive Director, Hexaware Technologies, joining. Mr. Srikrishna, thank you so much for giving your time to ET Now. First up, we have to start by asking about the impact of tariff on Indian IT industry and Hexaware Technologies in particular. Now, how much direct impact are we already seeing on Hexaware's manufacturing and consumer retail segment because of this news flow?
There is one sector that we operate in, manufacturing and consumer, that has a direct impact. Now, that sector is about 15% of our revenues, and all customers there have faced substantial cost increases and pressures as a consequence of tariffs. And you can see that impact in our results. I mean, it is the worst performing sector for us. It's actually in Q&Q based. I mean, on a year-on-year basis at the end of Q2, it actually contracted by 11%, and almost all that impact is directly as a consequence of tariff.
All right, but also help us understand by when do you expect these segments that you were just flagging off to recover, given that the global macro setup continues to remain uncertain?
This is the manufacturing segment. So these are customers who are dependent on parts or goods that are from different parts of the world. Manufacturing and consumers, that includes retail, for example. So the actual impact kind of varies by customer, but I'll give you, two data points of conversations with senior execs and clients. One said, 24% of their cost of goods is going up because of tariffs. Another said, 52% of their import components have some kind of a tariff, right? So in both cases, it means a material cost increase. It means that, it puts pressure on their profitability. You also see results, yesterday, for example, John Deere announced results. They announced material cost increases, like $500 million year to date on account of tariffs. So they're not a client, but this is public, information that came out yesterday. So I think anybody that is in the manufacturing sector is dependent on a supply chain that is global. It's hard for them to get out of that supply chain overnight, and it does have a significant impact on their costs and profitability. And I think the impact is going to last a bit. Most companies do not necessarily see a rationale to relocate the manufacturing, because it's not easy. It's not one component. It's potentially a very complex supply chain spread around the world. So it's hard to relocate manufacturing overnight.
Right, Mr. Srikrishna. However, reports say that despite stable tech budgets in the US, Indian IT players are not seeing proportionate growth. Is this a case of vendor consolidation, pricing pressure, or a combination of all of these factors?
So, I think in certain sectors that are first order impacted by tariffs, like manufacturing, the IT budgets are definitely under pressure. It is not that IT budgets are the same as what it was for this sector. For other sectors, specifically banking and financial services, budgets have been, I would say, largely normal. And I would say that for Hexaware and even somewhat for the industry, growth has been very strong in those sectors. Now, it is true that in some sectors, specifically in high-tech, AI investments may be crowding out the spend for services, but in many other sectors, that is not the case.
All right, but help us understand, what is your outlook on margins? Because Hexaware has historically posted EBITDA margins in the 15 to 16% range, except in the last 3 years due to exceptional items. How much margin improvement should we expect in FY25 and 26? And what will be the key drivers of your margins from these levels?
So on EBITDA, we've said for this calendar year, our reported EBITDA will be 17.1 to 17.4% range, which represents a slight improvement to where we are today. And we will meet that guidance that we give it on margins.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Srikrishna, for joining with us and giving us a view on the IT sector as well as, in particular, the company Hexaware Technologies, and best wishes for the quarters ahead. On that note, we slip into a short break, but we'll be right back. Please stay tuned.